When I was younger, during my college years, I would go to college and work in the city via the express bus. And I loved the express bus. I made my affections for the express bus well known. I loved how comfortable the chairs were. I loved taking the ride. I was okay even with traffic. I would sit there, I would maybe read, I'd maybe do some homework. Sometimes I would fall asleep. I'd start in Staten Island, and then the bus would bring me all the way to Manhattan. I'd start in Manhattan, and the bus would bring me all the way back to Staten Island. Sanctification's not like that. You don't just kind of sit back and you just say, God's just going to bring me for a ride of sanctification. The process of sanctification is not simply like the motto, I'm just going to let go and let God over and over and over and over again during the course of my life. No, you participate in the process. God is the primary worker, but you and I don't nap and enjoy the ride as God changes us. We participate in this process. Joshua was going against this confederation of kings that was against him. But in Joshua chapter 10, verse 8, he had a promise from God that God was going to give him the victory and that he was going to defeat those armies. But you know what Joshua did? He didn't just go to sleep and nap and say, okay, God's got this. No, he marched all night. And then he began to battle throughout the day. So there was this trust in the promise of God. God said, I have the victory, but yet there was this laboring. I'm going to walk all night. We're going to fight all day. And I think that well depicts how it should be for us. God took Joshua's natural actions and he empowered them with supernatural help, yet alone additional intervention. And so the Christian ought to do these things. The scripture talks about striving for holiness. Hebrews 12, verse 14. We are told that by the Spirit, the Christian doesn't put to death Amalekites. We're called to put to death the sinful deeds of our flesh, Romans 8:13. Christians are told, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. That's our pursuit. To state it positively, from 2 Peter 1:5, we are to make every effort to add godly virtues that are listed in that chapter, to add them to our faith. Sanctification is a call to action where each step ought to be taken with trust in the God who works in us both to will and to do his good pleasure.